Hi, Stitcher.
Hi.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Keisha, and welcome to Pattern Queen Stitch With Us, episode 12. Today is Sunday, actually recording on a Sunday, May 23rd, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and silliness and giggles and shenanigans and all the stuff. And today it's about the fact that my neighbor waited until the moment I hit record to start mowing the yard.
Oh, always. It's okay. It seems like inevitably whenever we start, I hear some sort of noise from out in the house. So I don't know how much of that you guys hear. But usually around the time we record is around the time that James needs to go down for a nap. And so sometimes there are noises.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, let's go ahead and show our things so we can get started. So
Okay.
I have been working on R2D2 from Spot Colors. I lost my cover page, but luckily through the power of the internet, I could show you. And this is where I am right now. I finished up R2, so I'm working on BB8 down there. And this is a kit, so it uses DMC, but it's all kit materials, the kit Aida and kit hoop. So only thing I'm not using that was in the kit is the needle, because the needle in the kit is very, very sharp. So I switched to a different one.
Yesterday for Mania, I started American House Sampler. And I now I'll turn it this way so that you guys get it straight. And I was loving working on it so much, and I don't want to end that momentum. So this is where I am. Here, let me get this one out of the way.
Nice.
There we go. So look, I'm even building the house first. And it only goes, I've got it all the way over here to there.
Oh, okay.
It's only 85 wide, so it's not bad at all.
Nice.
But I decided I was really liking that, and I'm going to keep going.
Right. Well, and you don't want to stop yourself in the middle of a big block of color if you have momentum going either.
Yeah. Especially since, I mean, it's ecru, but basically, you guys, it's white. And I don't enjoy white stitching, but I don't mind doing it when I am chatting. So this should be perfect.
Well, can I tell you about an exciting development in my life?
Absolutely.
So we've been trying to get James to eat like regular food, like table food. He's been eating purees, but he's becoming increasingly picky about it. And like he'll put food in his mouth, but he isn't quite sure what to do once it's in there. And I think he must have us bugged, because on Friday, my mother-in-law came to visit. And so that gave us the opportunity to let her and James spend some time. And we went to a friend's house. So my husband's birthday is next week. So we were just kind of just hanging out with friends to kind of celebrate that a little bit and had dinner. Well, my friends have a son who is a couple months younger than my son. And they weren't able to get a sitter. So, well, both of their sons were there. They have a 4-year-old and then an 8-month-old. And so we're sitting there, and their son is eating the same food we are. Like, he had lasagna, he had some vegetables, he was just going to town. And like, I turned to my husband, I'm like, okay. He's doing such a good job. Why isn't James? And I know you can't compare kids because every kid is different. But the reason why I say that I think that he must have us bugged is yesterday, James ate a whole bunch of chicken. Like, we ordered chicken wings from Wingstop last night for dinner because Wingstop was mentioned whenever I saw you on Thursday.
Yes.
And so, well, I would like that. And so we were like, well, we'll just try. So we just like took a little bit of chicken, not with any of the breading or anything, and just gave it to him. And he just happily ate it. We went out to brunch yesterday morning. He ate some grits. and a little piece of potato and a blueberry. And then just this afternoon, he ate some macaroni and cheese. It's just like something just clicked. So I think he had us bugged and he was like, don't be too impressed by my friend. I can also do that. So it's just
Like,
the timing was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the big development in our household, is that now our boy has decided that he can eat food.
Fun.
Oh,
So now you get to watch all the fun faces while he tries everything.
right. Well, and he's already like fallen in love and fallen out of love with foods in like just the few months that he's been eating food. So that will be an adventure too. Like this afternoon, I tried to give him some sweet potatoes, and he used to love sweet potatoes. He took one bite, and then as soon as I tried to give him the second one, he started going, and then he pushes the spoon away.
Oh,
so which
you're
can
like,
get
I
messy.
could hold you down and feed them to you.
So yeah, oh my goodness. So like that's what I was like, I'll try macaroni and cheese. I have to get this kid to eat something that's not applesauce. So, and we didn't have any leftover chicken. So anyway, that's the exciting development in my life.
Fun. My big exciting news is that I only have 1 week of school left.
Yes.
And it's not like there's anything wrong with school. I'm just ready for summer and all the things. And I know that we have a lot going on with the Black Needle Society, retreats and boxes and everything under the sun. And so I'm ready. I'm ready to be home and shifting my work focus and seeing how much I can get accomplished.
Awesome.
We are, in fact, so later on today, now probably by the time this goes up, you guys will already have seen it if you follow the Black Needle Society. But Katie and I will be going on in a series of live Instagram stories to do our or videos, Instagram videos, to do our vendor reveals, our designer reveals for the Advent box.
Right. And of course, being friends with Laura and Katie Landis, take a shot if you're playing that game. It has its perks, and the designers they got are amazing.
We're really
like last
excited.
year they were also amazing, but we're just continuing the amazingness. And they're different than last year.
Yes. And Katie and I continue to be amazed at the generosity in the community and the people who are working with us. And it's just, it's exciting.
Yeah.
So.
Every time you guys tell me about another designer, I'm like, no way. That's great.
Pretty fun. Pretty fun. So. What do you have in store for us today? Am I going to cry?
No, probably. Well, I don't know. I haven't read through all of the questions, so maybe. True to form, I have looked them up right before this video so that I don't know my answers to the questions, so we can kind of answer them together. That's usually my plan. And I have that book that I said I was going to start pulling questions from, but I found a tag that I thought might be fun. And it's all about Disney. So are you ready for some Disney questions?
Sure.
Who's your favorite Disney character?
Oh, I said I was ready, but I am not heavily into Disney right now. Let's see. Maybe you want to say yours?
Well, I'm not 100%
Are you
sure.
in the same boat?
I was going to wait and think about it while you thought about it. We'll skip to the next ones because there are more targeted favorites, and then we can choose our favorites of those favorites.
Okay.
How about that? All right. So who's your favorite princess?
um gosh,
I can tell you
really,
my favorite princess.
you go right ahead.
Well, my favorite princess is Princess Jasmine because she is independent and she does not need to marry a man in order to continue her kingdom. She wants to marry for love, not for political gain. So just step off, Sultan, leave her alone. She's going to marry that street rat.
She is.
And I loved I know that people have pretty big opinions about the live action remakes of things. And I don't know if you've seen the live action Aladdin that they did.
No, I have
But
not.
they gave Princess Jasmine a song, and I was like, oh, this is great. And it's like a song about independence and being
Cool.
strong and stuff like that. So anyway, my favorite is Princess Jasmine.
Okay, I'm thinking.
I figured you for a Belle, that your favorite would be Belle.
No.
Because she's bookish.
No. You know what? Okay, I cheated here and I'm looking a little.
Mm-hmm.
I really think that my favorite is Merida.
Oh, okay. Well, that also makes sense to me.
First of all, she's a redhead, so I love that. But again, another very strong person who just embraces what's around her and figures things out and gets things done.
Mm-hmm. She's a good one. She's one that's overlooked because she's a newer one, but she's good.
She's fun. I also like, and I was trying to look, I like Princess Tiana. Because
she's also a really independent one.
Yeah, and I love all the music in that one. So it's just, that's a fun one for me.
It is, and it's so different. And she's an American princess.
Yes.
So that's kind of fun, And of course, a princess of color, which, definitely lacking in those. But yeah, I remember the first time I watched that movie. I actually saw it in theaters whenever it came to theaters. And I just thought it was great. And it's kind of the old style of animation, because so many things are computer generated now. So it was just exciting to see that sort of movie in theaters. And to tell you, the villain in that movie is so scary. So speaking of villains, who's your favorite Disney villain?
Ooh.
This is one I know right. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you know right off on that.
Oh, huh? Right off the top of my head.
Who's your favorite?
Scar. It's Scar from The Lion King. I think he has the best villain song. Like, I also love Ursula. She has a great song too, but it's Scar all the way for me. He is so sassy and so evil. Like, he's just a good villain.
Well, I think that see, I can't think of his name, but in The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, Count Frollo. Oh my gosh.
He's scary. Oh,
he's so scary and has a pretty terrifying villain song on his own. Oh my god.
But also Cruella de Vil, not so much the animated version. But I'm sorry, the live action version.
Oh, Glenn Close.
Yes. I mean, she's terrified me for a long time. So
well, they have that the origin story coming out this Friday for that. Have you seen the trailers for that?
I haven't.
So it's Emma Stone is playing Cruella.
Oh, yes, I have. Okay.
So that comes out this Friday. I kind of like villain origin story things. I think they're fun. Like the Maleficent movies, I thought were really fun.
Oh, yes.
So I'm interested to see this, see how it is.
Maybe that's what you'll have to do for date night.
Maybe. Timothy, would you like to go watch the Cruella de Vil origin story for your husband? I don't know what we're going to do. So, my husband's birthday is next Friday. And now that I know that it's a
Yes.
joke, that it's a drinking game, I want to say it even more. Katie Landis is coming to babysit James while we go out on a date, which will be interesting. I've given my husband 3 choices of things to do. I gave him a choice of like going to kind of a dive bar and then going to a brewery. My husband really likes learning about different types of beer, and usually whenever we go places, we'll try to seek out a local brewery. So I was like, we could do that. I said, or we could go out, we could get dressed up and go to a nicer dinner and then go see some live music.
Mm-hmm.
Or for those of you in Kansas City, Green Lady Lounge, which is always a good time. And then I was like, also you have the option of, we haven't been out for a very long time, and the last time we could go out, we couldn't really do a whole lot. So we could just go to one of our normal restaurants and go to one of the normal breweries that we haven't been to in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever you've been stuck in the house for over a year and unable to go to breweries in, about 2, the normal things are also exciting. So
Yes.
he hasn't told me what he's chosen yet. But anyway, the birthday plans. But we have a sitter. I'm very excited. It seems like Katie is very excited.
I think so. So the Katie Landis thing, we were on our Stitch Together last night for the Black Needle Society, our monthly get together, and everyone was in the know. So I'm not sure what kinds of beverages were happening, but they happened multiple times during the night, including our one friend without a beverage who just used her hand.
Wonderful. Oh man, I'm so I'm sorry that the Pattern Queens drinking game has also invaded your business.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for her to come and visit with James, because James does a whole lot more than he did 5 months ago. So it'll be great fun. Unless she has to learn all of the songs that his books play. We have a couple of books that play different songs. And they're not like songs that you'd know from anywhere. They're just songs that, whoever Fisher Price made up to sing that happened with this book. And I have them stuck in my head constantly.
Ugh. One of the 5th
Having
graders
kids.
at school likes to listen to K-pop.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's her day to be able to play things in the classroom, I'm just like, oh, it is going to be there. It is going to be there for days. So, yes.
No, K-pop stuff is so catchy.
Ugh.
And then it's hard because I don't know Korean. So then I'm just like mumbling words to myself in a tune. It's kind of like I don't really know the names of people, but every once in a while I'll turn on just like a Latin pop sort of station because it's fun, dancey music. But I have no idea what well, I know just a little bit of Spanish, but not enough to know what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
So then I'm just like, I'm definitely not mumbling the correct words to myself. Oh, speaking of music, the next one is what's your favorite song?
What's my favorite Disney song? I seem to like whole scores of music. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to pick just one from a movie because I just enjoy everything that's going on. Um, Case in point, Soul has
Yes.
beautiful music through the whole thing.
So good.
And another one is Coco. I love the music through that. But again, I mean, like, think about a movie like Moana, where you hear all of that. I mean,
Yeah.
and so I think I have a hard time choosing what would be my favorite Disney, because I think they do such a good job of making the music go with the show. And now I'm sitting here hearing Under the Sea.
Well, yes. I mean, the great Alan Menken, right?
Yes. And I remember things like when Katie was little, that's when that one came out. And she really loved the music from that. And I try not to tell stories to embarrass Katie, so I won't tell the best Disney story ever. But let's just say The Lion King played an important part in Katie's young life.
Mm. I'm j- I'm trying to think what my favorite. So as you know, and as some might know, I am the same age as Katie Landis. I am just a couple weeks younger than her, actually. And so I've, you know, grew up the same time. So I'm like, oh yeah, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, The
Mm-hmm.
Lion King, all of those sorts of things. Um, and then I think about, Soul and Coco both have great scores and are focused on music. So you'd hope that they'd have really, really good scores. But I'm thinking about like some of the more underrated Disney movies that came out during my childhood. So like The Hunchback of Notre Dame has just a great, great music throughout it, like epic
Yes.
sounding music. And then Hercules. Hercules have like this fun soul music sung by gospel choirs, and I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it is amazing. I could just listen to the soundtrack from that. One villain song. So my favorite villain song is "Be Prepared." It's Scars from The Lion King.
Oh,
Wonderful.
okay.
But my another one that I love is from Pocahontas. The Gold is Mine song. I I had a Pocahontas tape whenever I was younger because Pocahontas came out whenever I was like 5 or 6 or something. So I had it. Um, and I would rewind that song so many times so that I could listen to it and sing the song about digging up Virginia for gold. The best.
We watched a lot of animated things. So um not even just all Disney, but a lot of animated fun things. And so we have lots of fun music going on in our household.
Mm-hmm.
One of Katie's very favorite songs was oh my gosh, why can I not think of it? From Tarzan. uh
Mm-hmm.
Trash in the Camp.
Trash in the Camp.
Yes. Okay. So for the people who are about the same age as me or maybe a little bit older, do you remember when NSYNC did a music video with Phil Collins doing the Trash in the Camp song?
And we appreciated that version, but we really
Oh,
love
for
Rosie
sure.
O'Donnell and the whole cast singing it and just having a good time. And that is one of those scores that's just like,
Yes.
wow. Katie has put that on for us when we've just been like let's take a little break and just have a mental break and clear our minds, eat some lunch, whatever, when we're working on Black Needle stuff, she will oftentimes put on different soundtracks, or we have happy music that she puts on as well. So but that's one that will come on, and we are all in such a good mood because it's so fun to have that soundtrack.
Very good. Well, so on Spotify, I just looked up like bath time music for kids. And so I have this playlist that I play, and Bare Necessities from the Jungle Book is on it. And so we listen to Bare Necessities almost every bath time. I know that James can basically be washed in one playing of Bare Necessities, and then he could just kind of play around a little bit, and then he'll want to get out. So it's usually 2.5 to 3 songs. Not always like Bare Necessities one after the other, but we usually start with Bare Necessities. So another, I know that we've been mostly talking about animated, but the first Pirates of the Caribbean score, so good.
Yes, and I mean, you hear that music and you know that's it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, all I have to go is da 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 da.
And even when they start off with the A Pirate's Life for Me, that's, and they do it just in a very different tempo.
Yes,
that just changes up the whole feel of the song, sets the feel of the movie. It's just cool.
Yes, that is a great score. It's very good. I would listen to that sometimes when I would be studying, like when I was in college and stuff. If I just put on instrumental, it would pop up. What is your favorite classic Disney movie? So we'll say pre-90s. What's your favorite pre-90s Disney?
Wow. You know, I have a hard time with those because that's when all of the princesses have the little squeaky voices and they make me a little nutso.
A little bit.
But yeah, and everything is very operatic, and when I'm thinking about the music in it, that's so funny. So I probably need to think of movies. Okay, so like Herbie the Love Bug. Those were fabulous movies. And The World's Greatest Athlete, in which my cousin was the stunt double. So he was the runner for the lead character, for Kurt Russell. Things like that were wonderful fun for me. And then like the Apple Dumpling Gang. Is that Disney?
I think maybe. I'm not sure.
But those movies were all so fun, and because they were live action, then they were just even more fun.
Yeah.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
See, my dad always liked to watch Pete's Dragon. We watched Pete's Dragon. I think like as far as animated goes, I like The Jungle Book quite a bit. I think that one's good. And then Alice in Wonderland. Like I'm never gonna turn my nose up at watching that one. And then I like Peter Pan on occasion. But it's probably Jungle Book for me. We also had the movie Fun and Fancy Free on VHS. And it's basically, it's like kind of it's 2 stories. It's Bongo, and then it's Mickey and the Beanstalk, and it's like narrated by Jiminy. Like Jiminy Cricket is kind of like the person who takes you in between stories, but then there's also ventriloquist dummies. It's a really strange one, but I really liked that. And then my dad's mom, my grandma on that side, whenever I was little, we would go to her house, and she didn't really have any cartoons except for two. She had Bambi and she had Lady and the Tramp. And so I've watched those movies a ton, but I would always pick Lady and the Tramp over Bambi because it's just a little bit more happy. But Siamese cats kind of freak me out a little. Like I've gotten over it. But that song
I love
terrified me.
Siamese. Yeah.
I know you do. And
Okay.
it's fine. I'm fine.
Another movie that I really, really love that's Disney. Now, I don't know what year it came out. I probably should have. Oh, it's 2010, so it doesn't really fit. But look.
That's okay. Oh, yeah? I've never seen that.
Oh my gosh. You need to watch that.
Okay.
I think it's probably on Netflix or something else.
It
But
might be on Disney Plus, I'd imagine.
yeah, it might be. It's fabulous. I just loved it. You will find all sorts of flaws with it, and I just don't care because it's just fun to see. Because the Sorcerer's Apprentice, the animated one, is one that I always wanted to get through, but because it's so much music and there's so much going on, I oftentimes will find that it makes the best nap ever.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'll get, I love to fall asleep to classical music and just hearing all of it is like, okay, yeah. But this live action version, the guy is geeky, so they expand on the story a little more. The villain in it is great. I should have looked at the cast for you because you would know the villain.
That's the one with Nicolas Cage is in that one, right?
Yes, but he's not the villain. Let's see if I get it here. And it's Jay, how do you say his last name? Baruchel?
Oh, I'm not sure.
And yeah, I think you would recognize him. Alfred Molina is the villain. Do you know who that is?
I think so. That name is familiar.
So there's the cast. Now, of course, photos are up.
Oh, yeah. I know that face.
Fun movie. Just odd, quirky. Yeah.
We'll
Campy.
have to watch it.
The whole bit.
I love a campy movie. I'll have to give it a try. All right. Well, this asks what the first Disney movie you ever saw was. Do you remember that? Or what an early memory of a Disney movie?
Okay, so the hard thing for me to choose the first is that when I was little, The Wonderful World of Disney was a TV show.
Oh,
so
right.
We saw it weekly and saw different things. Saw different clips and things every week. So it would be hard for me to pinpoint what the first movie was that I saw, but I can tell you that very different from like even when you guys were little, not little, when you were younger. So I can remember my mother taking me to see Bambi in the theater when I was in junior high. And I was horrified because there were only little kids there.
Oh, no.
Yes. So very different than things where like when you guys were younger, it was cool to wait for the next Disney movie to come out and to, go see the newest Disney movie. And it didn't matter how old you were. And high school kids were in the theater and adults are in the theater and, everybody is there. But no, when I was younger, it was little kids. And here I am and I'm like, oh gosh. And then they all started crying. And then I'm like, oh gosh. Not that I'm not empathetic with that, but just like, Mom, what did you bring me to? Now, I should point out, I don't know if I said this on here before, but this is the same mother. She was so clueless with movies and what to take me to. She took me to see The Exorcist when it was in theaters.
Oh no.
Bambi, The Exorcist.
Well, both disturbing in their own ways.
Oh my gosh. And A Star is Born with Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson. Not a movie to take your junior high kid to.
Oh. Well, hopefully you didn't run into any of your friends leaving the theater after Bambi.
No, because I think we went far enough away from the house. Thank goodness.
Well,
How about you?
I'm not sure what my first Disney movie was. I'm going to assume that it was probably The Little Mermaid because there are pictures of me dressed in Little Mermaid outfits whenever I was very small. So, but I don't remember seeing that. What I do remember is going to see The Lion King, which I believe was my first movie that I saw at the movie theater. I went with my grandma. We went to this movie theater that is no longer, I don't even think the building is still there. It was a really old, I'm not sure that it even started as a movie theater. And they had a balcony. And so we sat up in the balcony and we were going to watch The Lion King. And so The Lion King starts, and if you've seen it, it's got this big swelling music. It's so great. It's so pretty. You see all these animals, and then it goes done and tells you and shows you the name of the movie. I got so scared at that sound, ending that song. And then I enjoyed the rest of it. But my grandma and I talk about that to this day. And whenever it came out on video, my grandma bought it. So my grandma still has a VHS copy of The Lion King. And I haven't really gone to her house to watch movies for a while, but whenever I lived with lived with my grandparents for a few years while I was in college, and just every once in a while, my grandma would be like, "You want to watch The Lion King? It's such a pretty movie." Yeah. Well, we can watch The Lion King. But I saw The Lion King in theaters with my grandma. I saw Pocahontas with my grandma, and I saw Tarzan in theaters with my grandma. And that was the last movie we saw at that movie theater before it closed down. So
Fun. So fun fact, Katie Landis we were in Chicago in the Chicago area at Jeff's brother and sister-in-law's house. And they had a rule that on your birthday, you got to pick what we were doing for the day. So Katie Landis said that she wanted to go see The Lion King.
perfect.
Well, my brother-in-law is older than my husband by a couple of years, and he had probably much the same reaction as I had when I was in junior high and mom was taking me, because of course they didn't have kids yet, and he had no frame of reference. He had not had any reason to go to a Disney movie since he was very, 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 very young.
Mm-hmm.
And we got into the theater, and I mean, you could just tell from body language, he's like, it's my niece's birthday. It's my niece's birthday. I mean, you could just see it rolling through his head, like, oh, this is what we're doing. I love my niece. This is what we're doing. And we came out of the theater afterwards, and he said, wow, Disney movies have changed just a little bit. So, just the whole experience, and he was hooked. He was sold on it from there, and I don't think he ever had a problem like taking his kids to see the movies or anything else. But it was getting over that hump of, this is what Disney used to be and this is what Disney is now. So, that's kind of fun.
Well, and I think because I think it's a thing that's kind of started more with my generation. I know that they've had adult animated things for a while. I mean, The Simpsons has been on the air longer than I've been alive, I think. But I feel like there's less stigma about me enjoying going and seeing cartoons. You know, like you said, even like when I was a teenager, it was no big thing to go see the latest Disney or Pixar movie that was out. You know, everyone was going to see those. And so I think they must have just like started being like, oh yeah, adults could probably watch this too, and just upping the overall quality and maybe making more interesting animated movies to get parents involved and wanting to go see things too.
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
And I've been kind of scrolling through live action Disney movies while I'm sitting here. So first I saw Flubber. That was fun. That was a fun movie. I loved that. John Carter was a Disney movie.
I don't know that I've seen that.
That's interesting to me. But then I saw Mary Poppins, which I know both you and Katie really loved.
Of course.
The live action. And then right next to it is Christopher Robin, which Katie and I went to see, and I loved that.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I mean, so good. Just looking through those, you know, to see the non-animated ones. That's kind of fun. George of the Jungle with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, yes.
That was a squirrely one for sure, but you know. And I think I could figure this out, but I think Katie's favorite Disney movie might be Lilo and Stitch. Well, her favorite character is probably Lilo.
Oh, that's a good favorite character.
Am I right, Katie? Because she really likes Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride.
Oh, that is also on the bath time playlist.
So she and James will have something to jam to, right?
Yeah, they can sing that one together.
But you know, just the different things that are in there that I didn't think about.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of things that just like once you start thinking, you're like, oh yeah, that one. Oh yeah, that one. So the next one is, what's your favorite Pixar movie?
Oh my gosh.
No, they're so good.
Oh, okay. Help me. Do you know yours already?
Well, I have the one that I just haven't updated my favorites because I'm not sure if it's still my favorite, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And it's A Bug's Life, which is the second Pixar movie. And I just love that. I saw that one in theaters too, but my parents took me and my middle brother. I don't know if the youngest one was born yet, but anyway, I just love that one. I thought it was really fun to see, like, having Bugs as the main character, and that one has a good villain too, and just oh, look at this guy, he's trying really hard and he just doesn't always get it right, but he can save the day, which I think is something that Disney does well with just their characters. So, but it could be Coco.
Yeah, I was just looking, and really Coco and Soul are both Pixar, and Inside Out, and
Inside Out is really good too.
I loved The Incredibles. Brave is evidently a Pixar, yes. And we always have a great time with Ratatouille.
Yes.
That just cracks me up more than a little bit. I was trying to see if there was anything else listed in here that just like grabs me. I love The Incredibles.
Yes, The Incredibles is so good.
I mean, just especially when you get to the end of the movie and then they show the extra little scene. I am just cracking up. The whole scene at the beginning of the first one about Jack is just,
yes,
I am dying through the whole thing. So, you know,
I need to go back and rewatch that now that I have a kid, probably.
Yes, you will be so much more amused by some things. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one. I mean, it's hard to pick. my husband loves the Toy Story movies. I mean, I love them too, but like that's his movie. Like he went and saw the third Toy Story movie. Like that came out. I would have been in college at the time that came out, and he said that he went, and he doesn't really cry at movies, but he cried at Toy Story 3.
Oh,
Um, so yeah, that's definitely a special movie. I like the Toy Story ones a lot, and I like Monsters Inc. quite a bit. That came out at the time when I was the right age for that to hit, and I still really like watching it.
so Bree dressed up as
Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, Mike Wazowski.
Perfect.
So yeah, we loved that.
Yes. Trying to see, I'm getting toward the end of the questions. Have you ever been to Disneyland or Disney World?
Both.
What? Oh, go ahead.
I went to Disneyland the summer that I turned 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in the ocean on my 10th birthday. But yes, we went to, I had an aunt and uncle who lived out in California. They lived in Brea. And we went to Disneyland while we were out there. And that was so much fun. And I can remember being totally disgusted because my cousin was just afraid of everything.
Oh no.
And so like she didn't want the teacups to spin so fast. She didn't want, she didn't want to go on a roller coaster. She didn't want to do this. And I am just like, I mean, I think my uncle figured it out that I was just like, oh my gosh, because finally he just said, hey, you want to go ride with me? Sure. And we took off, and then we had a great time. So
nice.
Yes. And then Disney World, the only time that I've been there, our band in high school went to a band competition. It was for the Orange Bowl festivities, and we were down in Florida. And hopefully I said the right thing. If not, y'all can laugh at me. But one of the things we got to do, we went to Barnum and Bailey Circus World, which was fun, a whole different kind of an experience. We got to go to SeaWorld, and we also went to Disney World, where we spent the whole day having a great time in the park, but it was colder there over winter break than it was here in Missouri.
Oh no.
The thing I did was buy mittens. I bought some red mittens with Mickey Mouse on them because my hands were cold.
Wow.
And we all had to get together before it got dark because our band got to march in the night parade.
Oh, fun.
So, it was a very limited trip because we just had a number of hours, and we were at the time of year where sunlight is at its shorter point. But yes, I've been to both.
Nice.
How about you?
I've only been to one. I've been to Disney World, and that's where I spent my honeymoon, actually.
Fun.
And I'm not really sure exactly how we landed on Disney World for our honeymoon. I think we were just trying to think of something interesting to go do, and we're just like, why not Disney World? Why not just go spend a week and a half at Disney World? And
hey, Keisha, you just got married. What are you gonna do now?
Going to Disney World. And oh, hold on just a second. Everyone watch Laura Stitch. I'm going to come back with something.
I don't know how fun it is to watch me stitch, but that's okay.
Well, I'm still here. I'm coming back.
Okay.
So we don't do anything by halves in my house, as you probably have guessed. But here are my mouse ears.
Oh.
And here are Timothy's mouse ears.
So
And
cute.
Thanks. And we found some Christmas ornaments at Disney World that match those.
Oh.
But anyway, so we had bride and groom mouse ears. So we basically got the VIP treatment everywhere we went, which I think they probably, they make everyone feel special. But anytime we ate at a restaurant, they're like, are you on your honeymoon? Well, here's this special thing. Like we just got all kinds of special stuff. And one of my favorite things that happened. So we ate at, and I can't even remember the name of the restaurant, but it was in Disney Hollywood Studios, and it was one of the character meals where the characters like kind of walk around and say hello to you. And we were there. We were like, they were going to be closing soon, so we were there pretty late. There wasn't a whole lot of people there when we were. And the characters there were Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy and Goofy. And Mickey was up in the front with like a little tuxedo on. So the big thing is that whenever you went in, you got a card, and then you took the card up and you could get your picture with Mickey Mouse. And that was one of the few places in the park where you could do that. So we're just sitting, minding our own business, and Minnie Mouse comes by and like points to my ears, points to Timothy's ears, and then like takes my hand and looks at my ring and stuff. And the person who was walking around with Minnie was like, Minnie's looking at your ring. It's been, like 80 years and she still hasn't gotten one from Mickey. And so we just thought that was funny. And then they take me by the hand up to Mickey Mouse, and Mickey Mouse like grabs my arm and takes me outside the restaurant and just like leaves Timothy there. And Timothy's like, okay, well, what's going on with my wife? So Mickey like grabs this like random thing that's on the stand where they check you in, and has me hold it like a bouquet, and like basically walks me down the aisle back into the restaurant, and then proceeds to do a wedding ceremony. And so we renewed our vows with Mickey Mouse as the minister on our 1 week anniversary of being married. And that is one of the best things that has ever happened. So
fun.
It even like, I'm pulling up pictures. Like they even pulled like the veil over my face.
No.
So we could get remarried. It was so fun. So yeah, it was a nice thing. And I won't make you sit through the video. I'll show you sometime, Laura, if you want to see it. But the person who was with Minnie took a video on her phone of the whole thing. And she came up to me afterward and she's like, I'm not supposed to do this, but I would want that if it happened to me. So if you want to give me your phone number, I promise I'll never text you again, but I will send you the video that I took of that. And I'm like, yeah, of course I
that's
want the
very
video of it.
nice.
So
I was just thinking, I did actually go back to Disneyland because as an adult, Nancy and I went to visit our relatives in California. And Katie was just, she was like 15 months old, because yeah, it was in the fall. And Nancy and I had a great time, but the same aunt and uncle were with us and were considerably older by that point. And we had a good time shopping mostly while we were there.
Right.
But I also brought home Katie's room was done in Winnie the Pooh, her nursery. And so she had several of the characters, but I carried home I carried home Kanga in my suitcase. Now that
Oh,
doesn't sound like any big deal, but Kanga, Kanga is probably, can't even do it. Kanga is probably, she's like this
oh,
big. Okay. And from foot to tush, she's about this wide. But
mhm,
then the tail makes her be about like that because the tail stuck straight out.
right.
So that was very interesting to get in my suitcase.
It sounds like it.
But she got her Kanga.
Nice. Yeah, my Disney trip, and we got like the dining plan and all that other kind of stuff because we're like, it's our honeymoon.
Yeah.
And so with the dining plan, the one that we got anyway was like, if you use 2 of your dining credits, you can go to the really, really fancy places. So we ate at a couple of places that we probably could not afford if we were not on the dining plan. And so that was great fun.
That's nice though.
Mm-hmm. And we were kind of like, let's just go all out. The next time we come to Disneyland, we will probably have children. So let's just do it. Let's do it up, eat at all the fancy places we can. And, we went to like a piano bar and all this other kind of stuff. It was a really good time. Ah, the sounds of counting.
Yes. Well, I finished the top, so now I had to move down, and of course I pin stitched in the wrong place to start with. And
I was trying to figure out, I'm in a spot, like I've kind of had a guide where I was going for most of this video, and now I'm just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So I was like, I should maybe count what I'm doing so I don't have to pull this all out later. Because that wouldn't be good.
no, that would not be fun.
Not at all.
Backward stitching.
Not good. Well, I think that's probably all the questions I have. So let's end it on, how is May going for you? Have you worked on several projects? Have you worked on less or more than you thought? Or how's May going?
Well, okay, we talked about this a little in our last video. We
Mhm.
both were working on a model of the Frogwarts Year 2 sampler.
Mhm.
And so mine went into May, I think I finished on May 4th or May 5th. And so I had decided, I was going to just put off finishing the model, put off not finishing, but put off working on it by
Mhm.
itself and do my mania things.
Mhm.
And instead, what I did is when I came to the first, I thought, no, I want to enjoy all of my May plans.
Yeah.
So I am going to stick with the model until it's finished. So I was behind by several days. And my plan originally was to start new projects on the weekends, and really one on each day on the weekend, and then to work on my WIPGO projects during the week. So immediately when I finished the model, I pulled out WIPGO pieces and started going during the week. And when
Yeah.
it came to the weekend, then I started a new project. Well, I have completed several of my I've completed a few of my WIPGO goals because of this. So I think I am down to only needing like 2 more on one board, and the other board isn't, I haven't completed quite as many, but I think that what I have on the other board are maybe bigger sections, things I wasn't as
Mhm.
close to. So,
Yeah.
but I feel really good about it. And
Awesome.
one start was a start and finish. The second one was my lake house catch. which is the fish from Blackbird
Mhm.
Designs that I had to go get another skein of floss for. And so I feel like when June comes, I will pull that right back out and finish it up because I loved it. Obviously, I'm loving this. So
Right.
how about you? What do you think? How do you feel like yours is going?
Well, I worked on the model for more days in May, just because I don't always have the most reliable stitching time. But that's fine. I'm definitely like, I'm a process stitcher, so just the fact that I was stitching was nice. And it did give me a couple of days where I was like, where I'd have to ask my husband, hey, could you hold this boy for a few minutes while I get some stitches in? So that was kind of nice. But not that James needs to be held all the time, but sometimes he's demanding. He always wants attention whenever you're like, but you could just be playing with your toy over there. But so I haven't really worked on many of the things I had planned. I've started a few things. I've been keeping up with my 25/7 piece, and so that's been great fun. And I started something new yesterday, so I'm excited to show that. I started on the Till Death from Satsuma Street.
Oh, awesome. You did
So
have a vote on that about which one you should start.
yes, the groom, because the mustache.
Yes.
But I'm sad to report, and I wish I had it in here so I could show you guys, that the mustache is all in beads. So that will be one of the last things to go on. So there'll just be an empty hole where a mustache should be. So, but I'm really excited about that. So I'll probably work on that some more today. And then I think I'm planning on working on Christmas pieces this week. So I'll be pulling out, or at least I guess I only have one. I'm working on Christmas wreath, the first part of this week from the Frosted Pumpkin. So it'll be nice to get back to that. I was working on that pretty regularly because I was keeping up with it. But then I got behind. So it'll be nice to pull that out because I haven't worked on it in a while. And then the last couple days of the month will be Death by Cross Stitch. But, well, I guess of this next week will be Death by Cross Stitch. But I don't know how many stitches on that I'll actually get because Friday is the night where I could potentially stitch more, but it's my husband's birthday, so I probably won't be stitching much.
Okay, you made me think of a couple of things. So, Doreen, just for you, today is the day that I will work on my holiday hoopla, Uncle Sam, and we'll see how far I get on him. I was moving along okay with him, but I just didn't get him finished. So I'm hoping that I do get him finished. And then on the 25th, I will stitch on my Quaker Christmas with my friend Judy. We have decided we are trying to get that done. It's from Bygone Stitches. And then I think that I get to work on something Wicked on the 31st, the one with the big nose.
Oh, nice.
So that will be a fun one. And I've kept up with my 25/7 as well. And in fact, I am hoping that I will have a finish sometime before the end of June on the whole project.
Oh, nice. That would be great.
And since I will be home after next Friday, since I'm home for the summer, then I'm hoping that I really do get a lot of stitching time, and maybe I will up that and really try and push it and get it done quickly. And I'm mulling over ideas for my next 25/7. So if you guys have any ideas for something I should work on, then you'll have to let me know. And I don't know, maybe I will kind of pull together a short list. I was thinking that I might choose one of my Whip Go projects,
Oh, fun.
something that could be completed. So probably not Blackberry House.
Oh, darn. I love Blackberry House.
I did work on that this week. And it's one of the ones that I get to mark off a WIPGO goal. I have a page finish.
Awesome.
So I was pretty pleased. But I have a few that are so close to the end that, like Dance of the Tulips, that's one that if I was working on that daily, I wouldn't spend as much time figuring out where I am when I pull it
Right.
out. I have very little stitching left to do, and then I have some beading on it. So it really should get finished. And Black Pearl is another one where I just need to, I've kind of gotten part of her hair outlined this week when I pulled her out. So when I finish up that part, then I will be able to just fill in all of her hair. And then it'll just have border and the words "the black" at the top. Is it "the black" or just "black"? I can't remember, but I'll have that and not a whole lot more.
Nice.
So I have 2 or 3 pieces in my WIPGO that are like that I could pull out and potentially finish. I mean, I could maybe finish both of those before the end of the summer.
Awesome. I'm trying to decide whenever I finish Santa Cruz what I'm going to work on, because I think just by looking at it that it should be done not too far into June. So I think I maybe this next week it'll be finishing up the cross stitches, and then I'll be putting beads on. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to work on something that I need to finish up or if I'm going to start something new. So.
Oh, and I guess we should have said, I told Keisha that my plan with all of these fun mania projects, my goal was to touch all of my WIPGO projects. So I will continue on into June as many days as I need to. I'm not doubling up. I want to give each project a good full stitching session and see what I can get done during that time. So I'm continuing on into June until I have finished, until I finish the whole pile. Then
Yeah,
Katie, we're starting our salty yarns piece.
Ooh, nice. We need to start figuring out what we're going to do for birthdays.
Yes. Well, I know what Katie and I are doing.
Oh, well, yeah.
Katie and I are doing, we each bought a crab pattern from Samplers Revisited. And we will be starting those for our birthdays. So
fun.
But you're not a crab.
I'm not a crab, but I do have some crab patterns.
Yes, so you
do. So I could potentially start a crab pattern. I don't know what I do for my birthday. I guess I have some time to think about it. It's still a little ways away. So.
Okay, I was just counting how many were in each row here because I switched. And now I have to sit here and click.
I'm not sure. I'll have to count up my stitches after we get done, I think, because I'm kind of all over the place today.
Well, and I'm at a place where I am just filling in rows back and forth. So I've gotten a lot of stitches in.
Nice.
You know, it's just one of those places. So, but that's also why I wanted to work on something like this when I'm chatting.
Right.
So I am ready anytime you are. You just tell me. Okay.
Yeah, I think we can go ahead and wrap it up because I think I'm pretty sure James went down for a nap, and I think my husband went to take a nap not too long after he went down. So I probably need to be listening for James to wake up. So.
Okay.
And I should probably get some lunch before he wakes up.
Unless you just plan to fix a lunch that you're going to share with him so he can try more new foods.
Oh, I know. Didn't even get to finish off his macaroni and cheese because I came in here.
I would like to know, did you get to try the snack that was in the rainbow box?
did. I finally, okay, so I'm not going to tell you guys what the snack was, but it's in the rainbow box, so you can assume that it's a colorful snack. And as most snacks, it came in something that was crinkly. So it was colorful and crinkly, and as soon as James saw it, it was his. So I have been trying to eat this snack, but every time I try to eat it, James keeps taking it from me. It's fine. I probably don't need to sit there and eat that snack. So I just kind of, it entertains him and it makes me laugh. So yesterday, Katie and Laura came to my house because they always check and see if I need anything when they go to our L&S. And I did, so they got me something. So I went out to the car, took James, because of course I did. And as I'm leaving, my husband picks up the snack that I was going to eat. And I'm like, please don't eat all of that snack. I've been trying so hard to have some. And he didn't. So I got to try it, and it was very good.
Woohoo.
But I'd also like to tell you a fun thing about that snack that also doesn't give anything away. It has a ribbon on it. So to like, as part of the closure of the snack. So James found a way to take that ribbon off, and it has been his pretty ribbon for about a week now. And it's just in with his toys, and every once in a while he picks it up. He doesn't try to chew on it or anything. He just holds it and plays with it, and I'll go, is that your pretty ribbon? And then he'll just smile really big at me. So the box gave to both of us.
It is such a happy box. Packing was fun to see everything go in because it's all so colorful and
But all the colors mean that my boy just wants to take everything in that box. I have to be very careful.
I bet. So, are you at a good spot?
I'll finish up this. I have just a couple stitches to finish up.
Okay, I'm gonna park. I may finish crossing these when I get back across there, but this is where I got to.
Oh wow,
So,
you got quite a bit done.
yeah, I finished filling in the center between the two windows here, and then I just jumped down here and I've started going up. So I will finish the rest of that. I didn't tell you guys anything about this, and I don't know what I know about it. I told you that it is American Sampler House from Annie Beez, Annie Beez Folk Art, and my fabric is 28 count Spring Morning from Color and Cotton.
Oh,
and
yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, I had seen the fabric when we went inside the door at CC's, and I just fell in love with it. It's just beautiful. And I thought, no, I can't get it. I'm already in the fabric of the month club, and I don't really need to get anything else. And then I went around and saw the pattern, and it's almost the same color. She called for Dapple by Picture This Plus, but
Oh,
I mean, it is so close. And I'm like, I know exactly what I need for that. So
that is the even weave version of that color is the color that I'm using for A Candy a Day, that monster from the Halloween magazine from Frosted Pumpkin. Since the fabric I was supposed to stitch it on just disappeared mysteriously.
Yes, she's still. Did you ever find that, Katie? The fabric for the monster a day? No, it is gone. It is well and truly gone. She did, however,
we've moved furniture.
Yeah, we've moved furniture because we got new chairs and everything.
Yeah.
She did, however, last night find all of the flosses from last year's Frogwarts model.
Oh.
Which had been gone. So now the ones that we got this year will just go in the bags with them. It's okay. Really,
Yeah.
we would like to buy about 4 more skeins of everything so that we would have enough for the whole series.
Right. Okay, well, I will show you my progress on this because I'm just going to keep stitching on it until someone tells me to stop.
That's how I am.
So here's where I got to, and I'm probably going to go and cross all of
Wow.
those. Well, and a lot of them are half stitches because I just kind of like worked my way up so then I wouldn't have to count at the end of the video. So I might go and cross all of those, but it's good progress. I'm excited. Maybe I'll get this done and maybe I'll take a couple more videos. But
You said that you thought it would go pretty quickly on this side.
yeah,
Well,
well, because it's a lot of just gray. It's not as, I guess, complicated. I mean, it's not a very complicated pattern, but it's not, BB-8 isn't as complicated as R2-D2. I don't know, because it's just like a couple, once you get the gray, there's hardly anything else. So.
And there aren't beads in this one, right?
Nope, just this. So then I'll have to, once it's done, finish it in the hoop, and I don't know where I'll put it. Or I guess I can make it into a little pillow or something. I don't know what I'll do with it, but my husband is very excited about this one. So I always I guess he's already asleep now, but usually after our videos, whenever I'm working on this, I'll take it out and I'll show him so that he can see, because he's a great big old Star Wars nerd, and R2-D2 is his favorite. So
that was such a fun one to get for you. So
I love it.
I finished another row here because then I will be to the row where they are not just straight all the way across and I have to get the pattern going again. So this is a good place for me to finish this off and be ready for next time. And I'll have to figure out a plan of attack next time.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, that means I did 216 stitches today.
Nice. I am not sure. I haven't counted. It's hard to count and stitch and ask questions.
Yes. And I did tell you, I mean, this one color completely back and forth. It's ecru, so I get to do half crosses all the way across and the other half on the way back. So it went fast, I felt like.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okie doke. Well, that's probably about it then, right?
Yep, that's it for me.
Okay. So we'll just say bye.
Bye. Have a good week.